Earth Day 2021 is right around the corner, and at a time when we should be gathering in large groups and celebrating the Earth and doing things to help it out, like clean up the streets, the creeks, the rivers, unfortunately, we're all kind of still stuck inside, just like we were in Earth Day 2020. But in this week's video, we're going to show you a demonstration that you can do with your kids at home that kind of shows off the importance of Earth Day. And we'll also talk about other ways in which you can help out the Earth in these very trying times. Fair warning though, the cuteness factor may be a little too much to handle. Our inaugural Earth Day video showed you how you could use different colors of Play-Doh to have your kids build a model of the Earth and illustrate all the inner layers on the inside. This year's Earth Day video is going to be talking about plastics, namely straws, and how harmful they are to our environment, especially our water. It's pretty common knowledge these days that plastics basically don't biodegrade, and you can find evidence of plastics just about everywhere on Earth, even the deepest layers of the ocean. Thankfully, recently, paper straws have become pretty popular for that very reason. Single use, and when you do throw them away, they basically break down into hopefully nothing. So our demonstration today is going to be using paper straws and putting them into salt water and to see how effectively they dissolve compared to a regular plastic straw. And since we don't live near the ocean, part of today's demonstration that you'll be able to do with your kids is how to make seawater at home. Turns out, all you need is some salt and some water. Now, my undergraduate degree was in chemistry. Having said all that, I don't really remember a lesson where we just had to come up with some salt water. So for this, I had to go to the internet. It turns out if you take about 35 grams of salt and dissolve that in water and add water until the whole solution weighs 1,000 grams, that's about the same concentration you'll find in seawater. And if you don't have a scale at home, it turns out about 35 grams of salt is 2 tablespoons. And if you dissolve those 2 tablespoons in about 4 cups of water, you're going to have what you need to create your own seawater at home. And that's basically the demonstration. Part 1, just make your saltwater solution like we discussed. You're going to want to make enough salt water for the amount of straws you're going to use. For us, we used 3 different straws. One was a plastic straw, and we had 2 different types of paper straws that we were going to have. Also have containers that are big enough to completely submerge the entire straw. The next part, of course, is just to submerge your straw in the containers and wait and see. On the wrapper here, it actually says the straw will degrade 88% in 97 days. That's a time frame I didn't anticipate when we started making this video, so our results aren't going to be done. So we will likely do a follow-up video to this video several months from now to see how the results are doing. But I encourage you to do a similar experiment at home, which was to take the weight of the straw at the start of the experiment. So if you don't want to wait an entire 88 days to see how much breaks down, you can stop the experiment early, reweigh it, and see the percentage of degradation that has occurred. So let's talk about those opossums in the beginning of the video. Just like we did in our first Earth Day video last year and talked about ways you can help out the Earth while staying at home, like turning off the lights and recycling, we're going to do the same thing this year with a few other tips and tricks you can help out the Earth while staying at home. One thing to consider is to join your local animal rehabbing group. After taking a few classes and becoming certified, you'll be able to rehab injured animals back into their release. There aren't many things that are as fun, cute, and rewarding as rehabbing animals back to their release. We've made a few videos already on our channel about the process we use to rehab and release animals, so I'll leave a link in the description to those videos below if you are interested in checking them out. Okay, so if you're not terribly interested in going to paper straws just yet, or don't really have the desire to rehab animals, you can still celebrate Earth Day by having your kids do something as simple and basic as planting a tree or growing some crops. I mean, that's Earth Day 101 right there. So that's our video on Earth Day 2021 this year. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, plastic is terrible for our environment. It ends up in our waterways, and all waterways lead to the ocean. So if each of us can decrease our plastic consumption just by a little bit, it'll make a tremendous difference. You can buy paper straws just about anywhere right now, from your local grocery store to big boxes on Amazon.com. Also, if you are able to get out this year in small groups or big groups and clean up a little bit, that's great. Keep in mind there's other things you can do like we discussed in this video and the one from last year that we did on Earth Day that can also help out the planet, all while you're staying safe in the confines of your own home. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week.